Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. As soon as the 49er game ended today, I flipped over to the WWE Network on Peacock. My good buddy Morgan, MC, he sent me a funny tweet today that today, New Year's, was the history of the first ever and only ever WWF RAW Bowl on the USA Network. The WWF RAW Bowl was an idea that they came up with. I think it was a gimmick that they decided that they were going to run because Monday Night Raw fell on a holiday, New Year's Day, and at that point in history with college football, bowl games mostly happened New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. The better games held on New Year's Day. They slowly came out with, in the 2000s of pushing towards a championship game because they were tired of having, two football teams tie in the voting and not have sort of a playoff game. So that sort of is taken away from what bowl games used to mean back in the day. I think next year they're actually expanding the playoffs to add more teams to them. So it's going to get even weirder from here. But I think when they were sitting in their bookie meeting and they were trying to think, what are we going to do to make sure people watch wrestling on New Year's Day? Every once in a while, just the way the calendar breaks down, a holiday comes up and it's on a Monday. This year, the day after Christmas, WWF, they kind of punted Monday Night Raw. They put a best of on. I don't know how they got away with that. They haven't done it in the past, even if it fell on Christmas or anything like that. But WWE decided to give the guys the day off. At this point in history, this is a taped episode going up against a live episode of WCW Nitro. At this point, the NWO hasn't been created yet, but a lot of the big names from the WWF have abandoned ship and headed on over to WCW. The main event of Monday Nitro on this night in history was Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan. And, Vince McMahon and his, booking group decided, what we're going to do? The Raw Bowl. We're basically going to have a 4-way tag team match where nobody knows what's going on. Nobody understands the rules. We're going to make the ring actually look like a football field. We're going to refer to the ring posts that we've always called them as field goal posts, and just basically give any kind of football analysis that we can give. I don't know if at this point, the TV guide meant something. Maybe they were hoping that they were going to be able to trick the TV guide to actually putting them in the special edition magazine as, a bowl game. Somebody wouldn't do the background and find out that the WWF Raw Bowl was actually a wrestling show and not a football one. And maybe they would have an extra viewer here or there thinking that a football game was being played on USA at that time. I'm not quite sure. But for some reason, Eric Bischoff said, you know what? Give me Ric Flair, give me Hulk Hogan. And WWF said, hey, I want this tag team match with the Smoking Guns. I want Owen, Hart, and Yokozuna, a team of Razor Ramon and Savio Vega against Psycho Sid and the 1-2-3 Kid. I don't understand at all what the hell is going on. And I just watched this match, and I still don't know what the hell is going on. Earl Hebner is dressed up as an NFL referee with the full-on zebra outfit. He's wearing a whistle. He's got a hat. One of the main storylines of this match is that the referees are horrible. It's a lot like, Abe Knuckleball Schwartz. When baseball went on strike, they were, just throwing out lines, just basically saying that the baseball players in Major League Baseball didn't care about the fans. I think they were just capitalizing on all football fans hated referees. At this point, I'm guessing that there was instant replay at that time, but maybe any close calls that didn't go their way, they just blamed on refs. I know it's still is pretty strong in football today, but I don't know, what they were thinking at all. This match, anybody can tag anybody. At one point, we have both members of the Smoking Guns in the ring at the same time. They look like they're going to be to fight each other, like Demolition in the Royal Rumble. They'd run over, they tag in Owen, Hart, and Yokozuna, who are partners at the same time. It's just a huge cluster. And one of the biggest storylines that they're pushing in this match is a new rule called the timeout rule. At one point in the match, we have the 1, 2, 3 kid. I was going to call him X-Pac, but I think everybody would have known who I was talking about. He's about to be set up for the Razor's Edge by Razor Ramon, and he calls a timeout. And Earl gives it to him. At that point, we have the $1 Million Man get on the ring. We have Psycho Sid come over, and he takes out Razor Ramon, who gets eliminated from the match, and him and Savio Vega have to, take a trip out of there. That leaves the Smokin' Guns with Owen, Hart, and Yokozuna, and Psycho Sid and the 1, 2, 3 kid. So it looks like the deck is stacked against them at this point. But we have Owen and Yokozuna basically getting beat up on, and as Owen Hart is being pinned, we have Yokozuna trying to call for the timeout, and the ref just doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't see him or if he just doesn't call it, but the timeout rule is just thrown out, and it doesn't make any sense when Billy covers Owen for the 1, 2, 3 for there. We have Sid battling against the Smoking Guns, where the Guns end up causing just a minor distraction. And they're able to roll up the 1, 2, 3 kid, and they're able to get the win. Once this match is over and they go into the back to celebrate, we have the Brooklyn Brawler who comes into the winning locker room and presents the Steve Lombardi Trophy. Sort of going off of the Lombardi Trophy from back in the NFL that is given to the Super Bowl winner each and every year. Steve Lombardi, it's basically a picture of him on a trophy. I don't know at that point who would have known the Brooklyn Brawler's name really is Steve Lombardi. I thought it was pretty inside at this point, mostly because of his episode of The Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana. I knew what his name was, and it made sense to me. But I'm thinking more than likely, I don't remember watching this. But if I was watching this back in 1996, I would have had no idea what the hell was going on. I mostly just sort of skipped through this to see what the hell else was on this show. We see the Arkansas Pigpen match from the last In Your House with Triple H and Henry O. Godwin. There's a very, very short match between Diesel and King Mabel that makes no sense. But that basically is your episode of Monday Night Raw from 1996. It's over pretty much as fast as it begins, and the Raw Bowl, which was much hyped, really was a sinker because we never ever saw it again until, I believe, 2009 when they did the Diva Bowl, where they brought out all of the divas for a bowl match. So the rules from this match have nothing to do with that match. So I don't know, just abandoned, acted like it never happened. But full on, green apron with the hash marks. And then you also got the guys all dressed up in football uniforms. The only ones that wore a pro uniform would have been the King Jerry Lawler on commentary, wearing the Cleveland Brown one. But this match makes no sense. And honestly, glad I watched it today, so I never have to see it ever again.